Josh, what made you get into tennis?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town in Australia, Victoria, a small place called Trelgan, and my dad was the head pro at the club there, and that's really where I began. I was spending a lot of time at the courts and a lot of hours around the tennis facility, and always watching Dad play and coach, and then that's sort of where my interest for tennis started, and then I obviously, yeah, started to pick up a racket and started to play a little bit and just loved it, and it helped having Dad there, always around to hit with me, and sort of introduced me to the sport.
Being from such a small town in Australia, what made you choose Oregon out of all the schools?
So yeah, man, growing up, in Trelgan and stuff, I didn't really know much about the college tennis opportunity and the NCAA and that pathway for athletes. But when I began to progress within Australia and started to compete in high level events and get a little bit of attention, I remember a few schools started to reach out to me, and actually had a few coaches come visit me in Australia and come try to recruit me to a various amount of universities. So and one of them being University of Oregon, and I just when I started chatting to Oregon, I thought it was such an amazing venue and a really nice college town with great resources, a lot of a lot of like really strong budgets as well. Luckily, thanks to the roots of the university with Phil Knight and Nike and all that sort of thing as well.
Great response, Josh. What advice do you have to incoming college tennis players that are just starting their career, with you being a fifth-year senior and then having all of that experience?
Obviously being fifth year this year, I've got a lot of experience under my belt. I'd like to think I've seen a lot of things across my years in college tennis, highs and lows. But for the incoming freshman coming in, I think and anyone who's coming into college tennis or wants to try to pursue a good career in college tennis, I think the biggest thing is just dedication and hard work. I think, man, it sounds pretty cliche, but I think hard work in general just doesn't go unrewarded.
I know I'm asking you a lot of just like deep questions, but is there anything that you would have changed if you had the opportunity to with your whole career?
Yeah, no, like definitely, like tough question, but I don't think, honestly, I don't have any regrets about the way I've gone about my college career, and I don't think there is anything that I would change. I've had across the 5 years, I've had highs, I've had lows, man. I've had unreal form. I've been as high as 14 in the country in singles, 5 in doubles, and then I've spent a lot of weeks out of the rankings as well. So but no, I wouldn't change anything. I think I've enjoyed each aspect that college brings as well, and I've embraced that as well. I've competed hard and enjoyed competing for the school, and enjoyed grinding the hours that are necessary on court and in the gym with the boys and all that sort of stuff. And I've embraced that and enjoyed that, and at the same time, I think I've met a lot of great people outside of tennis as well in the social aspect, and made a lot of mates, and a lot of relationships that I'll have for the rest of my life.
With your collegiate career coming to an end, how do you plan to stay involved in the sport of tennis?
I guess as one door closes, another opens. And I've always loved the sport of tennis. It's just I've just sort of happened to have a decent college career, I'd say, but I've always wake up and when I go to practice and train or play matches, the one thing I always just check in my mind is do I love the sport, and I do, like I play the sport because I love it, and the day I wake up and I feel like it's a hassle to go to practice, or I don't have the nerves for a match, or I'm not getting up for the match, will be the day like I stop playing, but I love it, man, and I want to keep playing, keep pursuing tennis, and I feel like college has been a great stepping stone, but the goal all along is to pursue a professional career, and so I'm excited to see the challenges that will hold, and so I'll start traveling and playing on a professional level, and seeing how I can progress, through the rankings, and if I'm able to get, let's say one in the world or something like that, that would be great. But if let's say I can't progress past the level that I'm at now, I think that's great too. Because I just want to push my limits to the max,